Hey guys, me again. Another day, another 50. Today is Tuesday, April 15th, tax day. Hope you got your taxes done. I came up the stairs today in 17 minutes and 30 seconds, which is pretty good. And weighed myself this morning. I weighed in at 199, so I'm up a pound from yesterday. Which is fine. Your body gains and loses weight, water weight every day. So like I said, I'm not too concerned. I'm tracking it to make sure that I'm staying on track. But I realize that, things are gonna shift from day to day. I'm cool with that, as long as my trend is pretty much downward. So I'm still looking pretty good. Trying to get to 180, and I'm at 199. So that's 19 pounds. And so hopefully, I'll keep going in that direction. Things are good. I hope things are good with you. I hope that you're continuing to focus on your goals and look at how you can be your best every day. And one of the things I want to talk about today is something that holds us back, which is fear. And I've made a lot of changes in the past few months. In fact, I've dedicated this entire year to facing and overcoming fears that I have. And I hope that you watched the video yesterday and the link that I posted to Devon Franklin's sermon, because he does address this issue quite a bit in his sermon. And he's very good. And basically he talks about how we carry around things that continue to bind us and to hold us back. Basically, there's things that are holding you back that if you worked on, you could get rid of or get over. You would find yourself being able to move a lot farther and a lot faster toward your goals, without that baggage, without those things holding you back and getting in your way and making things more difficult for you. So that's a great video. I hope you watch that. And it's over an hour, but it's worth it. I've watched it several times, so I like to watch things over and over, read things over and over, because always keeping those things constant in your mind is going to take you to that place quicker. Anytime you have to make a decision, it's going to pop into your head, okay, this is the right decision to make, or I'm going to stick with my principles. I'm not going to compromise. I'm not going to, say yes to something that I should say no to, I do remember one thing that E.T. said, Eric Thomas, in case you don't know, when people say, well, I don't see what's wrong with doing this, something that's, a bit of a compromise, I don't see what's wrong with sleeping in, or I don't see what's wrong with, I don't exercise, or I eat these certain foods, or whatever I do. And he says a question that if you're trying to succeed, the question you should be asking is, not what's wrong with it, but what's right with it. Whatever you're doing, not what's wrong with it, what's right with it, because you want to do the right things that are going to help you get to where you're trying to go. And so I did want to talk about a really good exercise that you can do, which I did earlier this year, after listening to some videos that E.T. had, which is talking about fear. And you can think of fear. He calls it, fear stands for false expectations appearing real. Okay, so when you fear something, fear is really an illusion. Okay, it's something like your imagination takes off and creates something bigger than it is, and in reality, maybe that thing is not even anything to be afraid of at all. So there's great power in facing your fears, seeing what, freeing yourself from those things, like what do you have to face? What are your fears? What do you need to address? What do you need to overcome? And also, somebody put together a short video of wise things that Will Smith has said over the years, and that's a great video too, and I'll post a link to that video on this video as well. But one thing he talks about is, you know, he started, he realized that fears were holding him back, and he started attacking the things that he was afraid of in order to, because when you attack them, you dissipate them, and you learn that, number one, they weren't as big a deal as you thought they were. They were standing in your way, and now you have more self-confidence to pursue things because you see how easy it was, or relatively easy it was, to overcome those fears that you had let hold you back for so long. And one great thing that an exercise that E.T. did in one of his videos that I did earlier this year was write down everything. Just take the time, take 10-15 minutes, write down on a piece of paper, everything you're afraid of or everything you don't want to face. Okay? And just go through every aspect of your life, write down what you're afraid of. And I did this, and I just, once I started writing, I just kept writing and kept writing and kept writing. I'm afraid to try to find another job. I'm afraid of an interview. I'm afraid to face my eating habits. I'm afraid to face certain people or relationships, or I'm afraid to, try to move to a new place, or like it was everything. I found that this is what I was really surprised by, was I found that I had fear in virtually every area of my life. Every area, every area I had some fear. And I was blown away by that because, you don't think of it in those terms, and you don't really look at it in that way. And I realized that my life was just like a field of fear. Fear was in every quadrant. There was no area that was fear-free. And I realized that what that fear did was unnecessarily kept me in a place, kept me stagnant, kept me in a certain place, didn't allow me to grow, and it was so overwhelming. I didn't even realize how overwhelming it all is when you take it all together. How it just serves to really just stop you in your tracks and keep you at a certain place and keep you from trying new things or moving forward. And so first I was amazed by that, okay? And I think you will be too once you start writing down all the things all the fears that you have, okay? And don't spare any corner of your life, just write it all down, okay? And then once you're done with that, look at all those fears, and then think about and write this down. Think about everything that you would accomplish or that you could accomplish if you didn't have those fears. Okay, and this was pretty deep too. I mean, you talk about, well, if I wasn't afraid to go on an interview, I could have a much better job right now. I could be making more money. I could be doing something I love. I could be, working with people I enjoy to work with, or I could have my own business, or, I could save money. I could move to where I want to live. I mean, it's amazing how one fear can block you from, 10 different doors that could take you to a place that's better than where you are. And that was really brought home to me by this exercise, and I was actually kind of excited by it. Just thinking about, wow, if I got over this one fear, look at all these things I could have. Look at all these things I could do. And it was just very empowering. I was just like, wow. So that just inspired me to make this a year of facing fear. And so every month I've kind of categorized my fears into areas. And every month I'm using that month to face a different fear. And so, February actually was health and eating habits. It turned out to be fortuitous for me. some other events came together for that. You know, and this March was, or I would say February. That was February. March was fear of failing, fear of not having goals, fear of not knowing what my why is. You know, why do I do what I do? You know, what should I be doing? And I've worked on all that too. And so now I have answers to those questions, and I have specific goals that I'm working towards. And so, you know, when you start breaking down the fear, you can really get somewhere. And you know, I would just challenge everybody out there. I would challenge you to go through that exercise. Like I said, write down everything that, you know, you're afraid of, everything you don't want to face, anything, and start knocking those down one at a time, and you will just be amazed at the level of freedom that you gain by doing that. And you just get this, you will just feel so much lighter, and you'll feel so much more confident and able to do the things that you really want to do. So I would encourage you to do that. Write down all the things that you would accomplish, you know, if you didn't have these fears. So, you know, fear is natural, it's normal, we all have it for one thing or another, but, you know, you can't let them build up, you can't let them, you know, wear you down. You just got to really address them and attack them and break them down and get past them and get on to, you know, the place where you really want to be. So I would encourage everybody to do that. I challenge you to do that. And, you know, like I say, runners run in circles, but I climb to the top. Keep on climbing. I'll see you next time.